Introducing Wii Music, the 17-year-old product that does almost absolutely nothing. It can't cut a banana. It can't vacuum your floors. It can't even obey the laws of gravity. So what can it do? Only one thing. Wii Music can be used in an online video review, complaining about old video games. If you have time to order, do so now, because once that first retro video rolls out, the value is guaranteed to shoot up sky high. Call the number on your screen now.
It was always one of my favorite games, Wii Music, from all the way back in 2008. It was a fun time to be a gamer. Who could forget it? The Wii had been in the spotlight for about 2 years. That little white box was immensely popular for many reasons. The magic of the Wii Remote ushered in the era of motion controls. It captured that essence of pick up and play, the feeling that games of the past, like Pac-Man and Tetris, had. Then there were the Miis, little avatars that looked like Kokeshi dolls that represented you on screen. You could customize your Mii to look just like you, then use your Miis in all kinds of games. They lived inside your Wii and did all sorts of crazy stuff. Simply put, it was fun for everyone. The Wii series of games were some of the most popular of the era. Wii Sports sold over 82 million copies around the world. The sequel, Wii Sports Resort, sold 33 million. Wii Fit and Wii Fit Plus, over 40 million combined. Wii Play, just a handful of small mini-games, sold 28 million copies. Any game that featured Miis and was named Wii fill in the blank was guaranteed money. Even cheap knockoffs that used the public domain spelling of Wii cashed in big time. So you'd think that Wii Music would track along the same sales pattern. Instead, it tanked, at least in Nintendo terms, selling only 2.5 million. So what happened? To find out, I thought I'd take a trip back in time to 2008 and see what people were saying then. And to help me, I brought along my magic screen.
Wii Music? Oh my God! What is up with this game?
I'm gonna sit here and play a flute like this?
Reggie once said, Metroid Prime 3 is your dinner, Mario Galaxy is your dessert, and Super Smash Bros. Is your after drink. But this, this is...
Oh, this game is for served with a side of dog and washed down.
And this is only the first page. It goes on like this for another 586 videos. Thanks for watching the GTV 200th episode special. We'll get back to that in a minute. But first, a word from our sponsor. Beeswax. A new way to save online by connecting your shopping experience to the world. Beeswax uses hexadecryptic data transfer technology to automatically discover what others are saving money on. Beeswax gathers that data, just like pollen, and delivers it straight to you. Occasionally, beeswax may drop a little data along the way. This cross-pollinization can add up to even more savings. And don't worry, your data helps out others too. You might think exposing your personal data is risky, but when you add up all the savings, it's totally worth it. Keep an eye on your savings hive, because you never know what you're going to get. Even if you decide beeswax isn't right for you and delete the app, it keeps working, busy as a bee. Join the swarm of millions of users. Sign in, save money, mind your beeswax. Back in 2006, there was a tidal wave of news surrounding the Wii. Every aspect of its design, the motion controller, the small white box with a warm blue light, and not using a super-powered CPU like the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, all turned heads. Nintendo was in the middle of a realignment, starting on the DS and soon with the Wii, where a new mantra, gameplay over graphics, became the North Star for many Nintendo fans, and has been ever since. Wii Sports stole the show at E3 2006. There was nothing else like it. Alongside that, there were other Wii games. Some were nearly finished, others looked like a proof of concept. Wii Music was one of those seen on that day. With the flood of retail-ready games coming that year, Wii Music was left forgotten. But the game resurfaced again at E3 2008. Remember that in that 2-year interim, Nintendo went from dead last to first place. But alongside the Wii's rise to the top came a new genre of game, led by Guitar Hero, a game that came very close to recreating rock music in a video game. The full-size guitar controllers were plastic and had color buttons instead of strings, but that didn't matter. You felt like a superstar on stage when you played. The choice of songs were great, with a range of classics: the Ramones, Boston, David Bowie, and more recent bands, Franz Ferdinand, the Donnas. Well, those were recent at the time. Guitar Hero even made it to the DS, which kind of worked. And then there were other music-based games that followed, branded as imitators. But was Wii Music one of these? No. Nintendo, pun intended, marched to the beat of their own drum. Wii Music was never about trying to recreate that arena rock sound. If anything, it goes in the opposite direction, making music that sounds any way you want. There are about 60 instruments you can choose. Obviously, guitars, drums, pianos, and stuff. The most fun comes from things that aren't real. The NES horn is the best. I also like the cat and dog. The cheerleader is pretty funny too. It's very flexible. Want the bagpipes with a cowbell, accordion, and DJ scratches while your Miis sing the song in their own language? Go right ahead. In Wii Music, there's no serious point system, no way to lose, and no way to get anything wrong. And in that, there isn't any embarrassment about hitting the wrong note or ruining the song. There's an element of fun in just making noise. A lot of it reminds me of Mario Paint, where you can just make goofy songs in the composer. Who hasn't spent hours crafting the perfect harmony of the cat, the pig, the baby, and the Yoshi sounds? Wii Music is the same thing, just in a different wrapper. Just like how Wii Sports wasn't actually real baseball, bowling, or tennis. Wii Music makes you feel like you can still play the real thing. And if you're awful at it, then that's okay. You're just having a good time with friends. It's like how Bob Ross used to say, "We don't make mistakes, only happy accidents." That's all very well and good, but before you could go out and buy it, the whole internet saw the game in action. If you want to take the fun out of something, this is how. A bunch of geezers rocking out with Wii remote-cons, while a bunch of Miis are playing La Cucaracha on top of a birthday cake. Did we all look this stupid playing the Wii? Maybe this is where the motion control fad started to lose its sway. In the actual game, it's not that easy to just mess around. You have to go through a lot of training exercises and repeat the same parts over and over. Only then can you unlock different instruments, songs, and music video sets. It takes hours to get it all done. Who has that much time to suffer through all that? Part of this design was intended to recreate junior high school music class, where kids would start to learn proper musicianship and teamwork. Japan is so hung up on memories of school days. I mean, how else can you explain Final Fantasy VIII? Once you endure all of that, you can finally access all the songs. Over 50 of them. I wonder what people in 2008 thought about these.
Oh, and by the way, these songs suck. Where's rock? Where's metal? Anything? Energy? Come on!
Twinkle, twinkle, little star? What the f***? London Bridge? Yankee Doodle?
Okay, so there's some Nintendo songs like Zelda, Mario, that's kind of cool. F-Zero, that's awesome.
Because the other thing that's on this that isn't stupid music for stupid babies is mom music. What do we got here? Mariah Carey? Kylie Minogue?
The Monkees? The Monkees, are you serious?
The Monkees didn't even write their own songs.
They didn't even play their own instruments. Was that even Mike Nesmith's real hat? I don't think so. You could take 4 real monkeys and give them guitars, and they would sound a lot better than the Monkees.
I can't. I'm out. I'm out.
Oh, another sponsor? Okay, roll it. This video is sponsored by Minge Wallets. Minge Wallets! Just spread the flaps, take your tenor or whatever you got, and just shove it in. Minge Wallets can take it all, every time. Made from tight but elastic materials, Minge Wallets can provide years of enjoyment and keep your money safe. They come in a variety of colors and sizes, So join the over 4 billion people who swear it's the only thing worth living for. Minge wallets. Go online, use the promo code GTV, and don't forget to double-click the mouse to save 10% on your first order. Everyone looks at all these songs in Wii Music and thinks, cheapest royalties possible. There are a lot of public domain songs and a few modern songs. Much less, the Monkees had zero value in 2008. But this wasn't some slapdash decision. Daydream Believer is actually one of the centerpieces of Wii Music. Stay with me, and it will all make sense by the end. Let's go back to the beginning. Yes, it is true that the group, the Monkees, were created for a TV show. The 4 Monkees, Davy Jones, Mickey Dolenz, Michael Nesmith, and Peter Tork, née Torkelson, were handpicked out of hundreds of applicants to be the stars of a TV series about a band that also used their songs to accompany each episode. Debuting on NBC on September 12, 1966, the series was a hit right from day one. Most episodes featured the 4 guys seeking out rock and roll fame in Southern California. But there were all kinds of zany adventures, sleeping in haunted mansions, getting mixed up with spies, gangsters, or corrupt city councilmen. And of course, the look-alike switcheroo, where you have to save the day for your doppelganger that you just met 5 minutes ago. This trope happened more than once, and for being a down-on-their-luck band, they can somehow afford a 2-story pad in California and zip around in the Monkey Mobile. It's all wacky, implausible stuff that would give even Scooby-Doo a run for its money. All the goofy antics aside, the pacing of the episodes were strange for a 60s TV comedy, interspersing the usual sitcom plot, complete with laugh track, with musical performances and off-the-cuff interview segments where the Monkees step out of character and become their real selves. That helped the audience connect with the show and cover up the fact that the Monkees did not exist before August 1966, when The Last Train to Clarksville was released as their first single. That built momentum for the first episode in September, after which the song shot to number 1, knocking out 96 Tears by Question Mark and the Mysterians. I'm a big Question Mark fan, by the way. The first album went out in October. All of the songs were taken straight from the show. It debuted at number 1. Monkey Mania was in full swing. Fans of the show and the music, mostly teenage girls, ate it up. But adults, critics, and especially other musicians hated the Monkees. The main reason? The band appeared out of nowhere and instantly had a hit TV show and number 1 album. It felt like success was handed to them, not earned. There was also the suspicion from detractors that the Monkees didn't write their own songs or play at all on the recordings. The Monkees album didn't clearly credit or explain who did what, just that it was a collective effort by the group, blurring the lines between TV and reality. The truth is that the early Monkees songs were written by professional writers and recorded by studio musicians. The 4 Monkees were actors, and they were pretty busy making the TV show. It actually isn't even that scandalous. Elvis Presley acted in all kinds of movies. He never wrote a single song he recorded. Lots of bands back then, even the Beach Boys and The Who, sometimes used session men. It was a common practice. The Monkees did contribute in small amounts on their first album, but hiding the truth forced the Monkees to push for more input in the process. Some later songs were still written by pros, but by the third album, Headquarters, the Monkees had 100% creative control. The studio lineup with Mickey on vocals, Mike on guitar, Peter on bass, and Davey
Stand around and hit the tambourine the whole time.
gave the Monkees its signature sound, a mix of sunshine pop and garage rock, with some jangle where needed. By the second season, the Monkees were a real band in every sense of the word, writing, recording, and touring. But the TV series always kept them from earning the cred they were seeking. Though, if you listen to a lot of bands from the 80s and 90s, you can clearly hear the influence the Monkees had on the generation that grew up watching them. But after only 2 years on TV and 4 years of recording, the Monkees were finished. The stress of balancing a TV series and a band was hard to manage. Fans of the target age range grew up. Musical trends change. It's just what happens. And on top of that, Mike Nesmith had kids. Where did he find the time? Even though Mickey was regarded as the lead singer of the Monkees, on TV, Davy was the main vocalist. As such, one of his leads was released as a single in October 1967, Daydream Believer. It was the last Monkee song to top the charts. With a glossy pop arrangement from start to end, and vapid lyrics that weren't written by the group itself.
What the hell does it mean? It doesn't make any sense.
The timing coincided with the Monkees' fight for creative control and against their bubblegum image seen on screen. All of it was very much antithetical to what the Monkees, the recording and touring group, positioned themselves to be. But I guess that just explains why people hate Daydream Believer and not why it was actually put into Wii Music.
Another one? How many of these
Design, sophistication, comfort. These are the driving ideas behind the latest in support undergarment technology. Handcrafted contour shaping, straight from the heart of Germany. Holds them from flopping. Superb technical craftsmanship keeps everything in shape and in place. And men can use them too. Enter the promo code GTV for free shipping on your third order. Were the Monkees big in Japan? Not on the level of Neil Sedaka, Jennifer Love Hewitt, or my good friend Marty Friedman. But the TV series was broadcast in Japan, and the group did tour here. Footage from their Tokyo concerts became a special Japanese-only 2-part episode in 1968. After the tour, the mania faded away, and the Monkees quickly forgotten. Back in America, the Monkees were broken up on paper, but continued to tour and record in different forms throughout the 70s, while the episodes of the TV series were rerun on UHF stations. In 1986, a true official reunion made headlines. A new single made it to radio. 3 of the 4 Monkees hit the road, and the original series was rebroadcast on MTV, all lining up with the 20th anniversary of the band. This is the Monkees that those of us blessed to be born in Generation X remember. The mania was so hot it even prompted a new TV show, The New Monkees. But the less said about that, the better. The reunion tour lasted a good 3 years, and near the end, in 1989, the Monkees came back to Japan. But there was something else going on in Japan that tied in to the Monkees. It all began with a group called RC Succession, fronted by Kiyoshiro Imawano. They had a string of hits throughout the 70s and 80s. In 1988, RC Succession released several songs critical of nuclear weapons, which in Japan has always been a sensitive subject. And as such, airplay for these songs were refused by all radio stations. That made Imawano sad. Not long after, somebody formed a new band called The Timers, a band that has all kinds of time. The members, Zeri, Topi, Bobby, and Pa, had an unpolished sound, but very clever songwriting sensibilities. Many of the Timers' songs were comedic and satirical, poking the eye of the status quo. Zeri also bore a striking resemblance to Imawano. When asked if he was Zeri from the Timers, he said no. The other members were absolutely not other well-known musicians either. It reminds me of The Network from back in 2003, which kinda sounded like Green Day, but absolutely did not have any members of Green Day in the band. Same deal here. One early Timers song was a cover of the theme from the Monkees, rewritten about themselves, with double entendres that went over most people's heads. Other songs defended RC Succession, which was nice of them, considering those guys weren't even in the band. The Timers garnered a following, playing live shows to disaffected youth who agreed with the message behind the music. Because the Timers were about rebellion, about political and social upheaval. Their breakout point came on October 13th, 1989, when the Timers were invited to perform live on Fuji Television's music show, Hit Studio R&N. What was thought to be good, clean family fun was suddenly turned on its head, as Zeri and the Timers played songs that protested Tokyo FM for their banning of RC Succession's music, and many, many words not suitable for broadcast. The Timers incident is still legendary to this day. That very week, the Timers released a new single, a straightforward, heartfelt, serious rendition of Daydream Believer. The lyrics weren't a direct translation, but an adaptation that reflects on having lost someone special. Keep in mind, as this was happening, the Monkees had just toured Japan. Was it a coincidence? A way to cash in? We may never know. The single peaked at number 2, and the Timers album, released that November, went to number 3 on the Japanese charts. Like many songs in Japan, record sales and chart performance aren't the final word in a song's popularity. It's the second life of TV shows and commercials where a song truly transcends the culture. Don't believe me? Most of the 20th century songs in Wii Music are known in Japan from being from something else. Earth, Wind, and Fire is forever immortalized in Japan, thanks to being used on TV. I mean, how can this not help you remember that very first night of September?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold up. It's the 21st night of September. That's what it is.
Autoplay. With a slow, melodic pace and melancholy tone, Daydream Believer became natural film music in all kinds of media. Since 1989, it's been heard everywhere. However, this song goes above that, reaching the ultimate crowning achievement as the official theme song to 7-Eleven. The Timers had one more album in 1995, featuring a song that praised North Korea as being a happening place with awesome people. After that, they were scarcely heard from again. Kiyoshiro Imawano maintained a solo career in the 90s. He passed away in 2009, living long enough to see his song used in Wii Music. Many years after the Timers, the truth was revealed. He actually was Zeri after all. And to this day in Japan, Daydream Believer is still a favorite and often used as a closing song at the end of a long day, or to send someone on a fond farewell. To bring everything full circle, there could never be a more obvious choice of a song to include in Wii Music. It's a beloved classic from the point of view of those who made the game. It's just that this was never known for many who played it. But you know, all this talk really has me thinking. After 10 years and 200 episodes, I think it's time to branch out. So, I'm starting my own band.
Here we come, jumping on the screen. Funny faces and stick arms on Nintendo Wii. Hey, hey, with the wieners, we can't stop jumping around, 'cause we're too busy wagging to put the remote control down.
Turns out Wii Music, for some reason, has completely skyrocketed over the past week or so. I have no idea why.
Wii Music? Can I see it?
Yeah, Wii Music.
You know, I think some dude made a video about that recently.
What? Dude, that's freaking crazy. I don't believe it. This is probably like the worst game I've ever played in my life.